how to break spirit of bewitchment and how to be delivered from it. A lot of people, the things that you go through, the thing that you're passing through, it is not just physical happening to you. Most of these things, some of them, they can also be spiritual. Most of people, most of marriages, they're under the power of bewitchment. Most of husbands, most of wives, financial issues you are facing, and the things that you are passing through, you may not be aware that something is happening somewhere. There is something they call bewitchment. For 6 areas where when somebody is under bewitchment affect. The first area when somebody is under bewitchment, was bewitched, it affect their thinking system. The thought, they will start thinking strange things. The men that not think straight anymore. The woman, the child, they start doing something that is out of normal. They see it like it's normal. They think strange. So that person, when he's under bewitchment, the first thing, it start affecting the way they are thinking. The second area, the bewitchment is affecting is a change of behavior system. The patterns, the doing, the actions. You will see somebody misbehaving, doing strange things. You will be like, but is this the man I married? Is this the woman I married? Is this the child I gave birth to? You will see that person is under a very strong power of bewitchment. That is why you can see a mad person, he goes in the street, he drinks the water from the street. For him is normal, but for every other person is abnormal. Why? Because the person, the bewitchment or the spell that is controlling them is now affecting their behavior. That is what can make a person to live a very nice partner. He has a good wife, a good husband, and go and start having affair with somebody that you can't. When you put 2 of them together, you can't explain what brought this person here. You ask yourself, but why did he follow there? Why did she follow there? The person is under a strong power, a strong spell. The power of spell or bewitchment, it can affect the change of behavior and actions. And then the other area, number 3, that bewitchment can affect, it can also affect the speaking or the words of the person. When somebody is bewitched under a spell, it can also start affecting the way they speak. It will change. The words, it will change. The area number 4, that the bewitchment or spell can affect, it will affect a person's choices and decisions. You will see a person start making poor decisions and poor choices that can even harm them. You can see somebody saying, but how did I find myself here? The person start regretting their action when it is already too late. They are already victim of one thing or the other because of the poor choices. I don't understand how I took my money and invested in this business that took all my money. It was a spell. I don't understand how a 60 years old can rape a 4 years old girl. What happened? Others, they even go as far as raping a baby. You ask them, but what happened? When the police or in court, they ask them, what led you to do this? Which pleasure were you seeking into raping a small baby? What did you achieve? He said, I don't know what came over me. Spell. That is the power of spell. It will affect choices and decisions. The person can start doing wrong things. How did you end up having an affair or sleeping with your own child? Spell. Spell. When somebody's under a spell, it's affecting the decisions and the choices. The other area, number 5, that the spell or the bewitchment can affect, it will also affect a person's social and everyday living. When somebody is under a spell, you can see somebody who used to have money, suddenly they go broke. I don't know how my money got finished. I don't know why I'm working but I can't have money. I don't know why every day I wake up in the morning, I go to work but I'm always broke. I don't know how I can't come out of my debt. Spell. It can control, it can affect the social life. That is why if you read in Mark chapter 5, there's a story of a guy who was living in the tombs, in the grave. He was cutting himself with a knife. He was hating himself. So it will affect the person. Instead of living in the city, in the house, at home, his own place to live was a grave where he was living in the grave. He was cutting himself. The Bible says even when they tie him with a chain, he was breaking, he was too strong. Why? Because when somebody is under the influence of demonic powers, it can affect the way they behave. How can my only daughter who used to be decent suddenly start changing, suddenly become rude, suddenly becomes going out? How can someone who was well reserved And then suddenly become very wild. You can't control them. When the spell is controlling somebody, it starts affecting everything that I've just mentioned. Someone can come from the work, when he get paid, he took all the money, he go and drink it with girls. He go and drink it. They pay day when they receive the money, they don't come at home until when the money is finished. I know people like that. When he's very broke, he's very nice, very calm, very humble, everything is okay. He's very loving, romantic. But once the money comes in, pop, no more sleeping in the house. The only time they will come back home is when all the money is finished. Then you ask them, what is going on? When the spell affects someone, it's like that. And somebody who's under a spell, most of the time is not even aware that I'm under a spell. And some of them that you can't control them, you can't advise them. When you say, please leave this thing, they will look at you like an enemy. With every sound advice can make them angry and irritated. They don't see things the same way you see them. The sixth area where the spell can affect is the vision of life. The person starts seeing things differently. When you look at him, you feel sorry, you feel pity. But now is normal. You say, but what is going on? How can someone who has a bad thing, who has a clean, and then suddenly become very dirty? What happened? The vision has changed. Why? Because when the spell comes, it will affect the way you see things changes. Everything that's bad becomes normal for you. Hallelujah.